Hi everyone, welcome to Success in Seconds, brought to you by the success coaches at Loyola University Chicago. This video will be going over strategies for preparing for an exam. I would like to start this PowerPoint off with a quote. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Sometimes education can be challenging, and one of the most difficult parts is taking exams. So this video will be going over some general tips to best prepare for them. One thing to keep in mind is that there are different approaches for preparing for a test. We will talk about 3 of them in this PowerPoint. These include test day prep, mental prep, and academic prep. So we're going to start with the academic prep. The big idea for academic prep is to organize, review, and practice. And here are some different ways that you can do that. And some of them are just forming study guides or outlining your chapter, summarizing, and completing your homework and practicing. Here are some different test prep strategies to go a little more in depth. To prepare, you can make flashcards, you can take notes, create a study sheet, organizing and summarizing your notes, predicting exam questions, drawing a mind map, etc. And you can see on the right, there are different ways to actually review those type of material that you're going to prepare. In addition to organizing, reviewing, and practicing, there are some foundational components that people find helpful. So to start, having a flat surface. So you would want to clear up everything in your desk of what you're working on. Good light, you don't want it to be too bright or too dim. Some people find it helpful to have a chair that is comfortable. Books, have all of your necessary textbooks and reference books. Pens, pencils, markers, erasers, anything that you're going to need or that you find handy while you study. Be sure to have a clock to manage your time, eliminate all distractions, and get good health. So get good sleep at a reasonable time, eat breakfast. Your body needs energy to study well, get some exercise, take frequent breaks from studying. This may even be just 10-minute walks. Transitioning to another key strategy in academic prep, I will now go over memorization techniques. The brain has the ability to store and recall a lot of information. However, sometimes we struggle to remember course material for a test. So break into parts. Instead of trying to memorize a large amount of information at once, break your material into parts. So an example of this would be if you're trying to memorize a poem, take it one section at a time for better memorization. Chunking material is another strategy that you can use. Try memorizing information in chunks. We can take a phone number as an example. Memorizing 10 numbers individually, so 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 0, might be difficult for some people. But by putting numbers into chunks, 345, 908, it makes the memorizing much easier. This can be done with names, formulas, etc., whatever you need to do. Music, adding a musical tone to what you're remembering can also be helpful. For instance, you might not have been able to remember the 26 letters when you were young, but putting it into a song made it much easier for you. You really want to focus on the critical information. For example, for math, not all the formulas, but the ones you know will be on the exam. And another method is to just try more than one method. There's a lot of them that I just listed, so figure out what works for you. We're now going to transition into mental prep. Here are some just general tips. You want to find a balance between study and non-study time. Sleep well, eat well, and exercise when you can. Discuss any concerns with your professor. Get familiar with the type of test or environment you'll be taking the test in, and try to stay positive and relaxed. I'm going to go deeper into the relaxation techniques. So as you can see here, we have deep breathing, positive self-talk, and setting boundaries. Some examples for deep breathing are to breathe deeply and slowly, sit straight, let your breathing be deep and natural. You want to become aware of your body and the environment around you, and just continue this process until you find yourself more relaxed. One other thing you can do is positive self-talk. And you can do this as you're taking your exam or before the exam. So some examples of this are maybe you're taking your test and you see a question and you can say to yourself, let's see, I made some notes on that toward the end of the yellow sheets I used. Or I'm doing okay, I will pass this, I've done hard things before. Another thing that you can do is just set appropriate boundaries for yourself, and this is boundaries between studying and self-care activities as you're preparing for your test. Now I'm going to be going over the actual test day prep. Here are some general tips that are foundational to succeed in the actual test day. So arrive a little early on, if it's on an online class, log on a little bit earlier if you can. Bring all your necessary materials. Some find it helpful to pre-read the exam before taking it. Be prepared for moments during the exam. Also, for objective tests, answer easy questions first. Trust your judgment call. Try not to overthink or change your answers until the end. You may also want to circle questions if you're iffy and go back to those rather than changing them right away. For subjective tests, read each question and make a short list of what you know first. Try to outline your answers before writing them. Try to spend more time on questions worth more points. And when you're writing, make sure your points are easy to find and identify, and be concise when you're writing those. And this is the end of the PowerPoint. If you have any questions, you can find us at luc.edu/tutoring/our services/success coaching. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a good day.